Welcome in to another episode of Phone It In right here on So Bros Network, powered by Memo's Mexican Kitchen out in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, just about a mile north of I-40 off of the Mount Juliet exit for what is, in my opinion, the best Mexican food in the Nashville area. Since our last episode, Rooster, you got to actually go try Memo's because you were in Nashville a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
We were trying to do some spooky stuff on Friday night. We did not encounter a ghost. As soon as we got out to the location, Mac and I got into work mode, and I think it killed any spooky vibe that we had going out there. But we did have dinner. We did pregame at Memo's. Do you want to tell the people about your experience there a little bit? Because I told you you'd get to do the next ad read.
I totally forgot, so I'm not prepared.
Awesome.
It was very good. It was way better than what I was expecting. Not like your average chain Mexican restaurant.
How about that?
It was like Top Chef kind of shit. Real good. It was real fucking good.
You got the quesadilla, which is my go-to. I get it all the time there, and it looked fantastic. And I don't remember what I had. Oh, I had the enchilada suizas. So it was like their 5 cheese enchiladas with a little chipotle sauce to it. And then we tried some agua frescas that were really good. And I don't remember what my wife got or what anybody else got. So
neither do I.
Still a great meal. It's been 2 weeks at this point. That's all.
Yep. And that was at the end of, travel day for me. And then we went out to film ghosts. So
yeah. And I did not get a single bug bite from that night, but you were apparently eaten up, huh?
I counted, so I am not exaggerating, when it is at least 28.
Damn.
And I do not react well to them. I mean, they get big, they burn, it's not a fun time. They're still healing. Like, I've been trying to hide my legs when I go to the gym because it looks like I have pox or something.
Man, that's tough scene. So I didn't do. Maybe it's all my body hair.
Carter just got one too. That's what he says. Like, because you don't have any hair. It's like, great. So because I'm a woman in this world and I have to shave, that means I fucking get eaten up.
You don't have to shave. Just grow it all out, become a mountain woman, and that way the bugs can't get you.
I don't have the courage to do that.
Yeah. We here we go. Kelly's in the comments today. Finally made it to a live. And she does add bugs love Rooster because she's so sweet. Yeah.
That's nice.
So We should have some pretty good TikToks coming out in the month of October. I've gotten a sneak peek from Mac, who worked on one of them. We got some really cool shots in the woods that
We
look
did.
like Blair Witch shit, but nothing really happened that night. It was kind of a
No.
chill night.
More scared of all the spiders. That shit was freaky.
Yeah, there were some big spiders out there. And there was a light emanating from the woods that we couldn't quite place, but it looked like it was just the moonlight maybe hitting the leaves, and
Well, and the weird flashes in the sky.
weird flashes in the sky were pretty concerning, but nothing. We never I at least I didn't ever feel like there were entities there. It was
No.
just kind of a quiet, chill night, and
Mhm.
that happens sometimes, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm
I
gonna
told
say
you
bye.
I'm an anti-magnet.
Yeah,
I will push that shit away.
and I think Carter is too.
Yeah.
I think the
We'll
energy.
never experience
Yeah,
anything.
they were just like, we can fuck with these two people, but no, with Roxanne and Carter there, it's not gonna.
No.
We can't do it. We can traumatize Stoney and Mac, but no, we
Mhm.
can't. Not with.
Actually, now that I remember, I feel like Carter said something about how when he was by himself, because he didn't go into the woods, that he felt a little weird, which is incredibly surprising because he will be the first one to be like, "There's no such thing as ghosts ever.
Yeah,
Y'all are stupid for doing this shit."
maybe that's what it was. Strength in numbers. There
Mm,
were too many of us out there. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's really just me. I have all the anti-power.
we we tried to get some ghost stuff on film. It didn't happen, but we still had a good time, and we still had dinner at Mimo's Mexican
We
Kitchen.
did. This is a great ad. Real professionals.
Yeah, it was a great time. So, on to this week's episode. We are going to be talking about cruise ship deaths. This is this is I'm looking back in the catalog of Phone It In episodes, and I'm wondering, is this our first death episode since the Disney theme park deaths?
Yes.
Because that episode popped off. I don't know why people were
People
enamored
like
by that.
deaths.
Yeah.
They like
But
true crime.
but what was it about the cruise ship deaths that seemed particularly interesting to you? Why'd you pick it for this week's show?
So it's something I've also had on my list when I go back and read. And then I thought of Brandon talking about how Brittany does not want to go on a cruise. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's talk about cruise ship deaths. So, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not a cruise guy at all, but I don't like the ocean. And it's just for the helpless feeling of being in deep with a bunch of animals that can tear you to pieces and not give it a thought. And they say drowning is actually a pretty nice way to die, so I'm not too worried about that.
Mm.
It's just all the gigantic creatures swimming up and eating me that I don't
I
like.
don't even like being in a lake. If I can't see my toes, I don't like
Yeah.
it.
I'm okay in a lake. Lakes don't typically bother me too bad, but also the older I've gotten, it's like the more the fear has intensified. I don't know what
Mm.
that says about me, but I'm just like knee deep in the ocean, and that's about it. I'm
You
not going.
know, a great way to die would be um, in a little submarine that just
Just
implodes.
instantaneous. Yeah.
Like, what a great way to go.
Like man, I mean, the physics of that incident, like you wouldn't even know it.
Mm-mm. Maybe if you heard some creaking, you'd be like, "Oh, fuck." But then you just be gone so fast, like, "Ugh, that sounds delightful."
That does sound delightful. Yeah. I don't know what it is about drowning. I can't remember because it was on like one of those like 1,000 Ways to Die shows on Spike TV back in the day or something like that. But I remember watching an episode and they were kind of talking about how it's actually not that bad of a way to go. And I accept that. I hear you, but I don't want to be stranded in the ocean
No.
dying.
Freezing to death sounds like it would be okay too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is a cheery uplifting episode we're on
Yeah.
today. So
Mimo's Mexican Kitchen.
yeah, they're gonna be thrilled, absolutely thrilled to have their name on this show. I can't wait. Well, let's get into it then,
All
shall
right.
we?
Okay, so some estimates put the number of cruise ship deaths at 200 annually.
That's
Working,
surprising. Did
well,
that surprise you?
I think it's really so. It was really hard to figure this out because there's like some research that's been put out. It had the number really low. And then this number that people kept referencing, I couldn't find where it came from.
Yeah.
So who fucking knows? Honestly, I shouldn't even put in there. Like, who knows? Because like I feel they don't maybe release this information. It's not as
Mhm.
easy to know.
Yeah.
So um if this is the case, this works out around 4 a week.
That's
Most are due, well,
surprising.
large grain of salt, like a fucking salt cube, you know, salt
Fair
lick.
enough. I like Ryan's comment, by the way. Memos does have a skeleton as their logo, so maybe
They can get a little dark with it.
yeah, okay.
Most are due to natural causes in elderly or frail people, obviously, sure. Some
The
are from
weak.
yeah, the weak. They're already dying.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
This
We're
is
being
good.
very, very respectful, and we haven't even gotten through the first paragraph.
No.
Yeah.
Some are from people going overboard, whether by accident or intent. So,
I mean, that's not a bad plan if you really wanna go. Like, take
right,
a
like
cruise and then
exactly. A lot
jump
of
off. Yeah.
people do commit suicide on cruises because, it's like have a nice little vacation right before you go.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense. Clears.
but also accident, like you have to be doing some stupid shit to accidentally fall over. A lot of teens or stupid people,
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean,
climb on balconies or lose their key card and try and climb up into their room from the outside when you can just go get another key card. Or people try and film themselves jumping off, which like ships will ban you for making content like that. So, stuff like that.
that's really dark too. It's like, I don't know, my Twitter algorithm lately has been so fucked up. Like, I get all these people like, oh, moments before death jumping into rivers, and I'm like, how is this acceptable? I just constantly blocking this stuff. But
Yeah, I've
but
seen
people
some, yeah.
people still make it.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
I would not feel very comfortable creating content on a cruise ship of me climbing a balcony. Maybe there's a time in my day, if I'm being completely honest with myself, when I'm like gonna hop up and tiptoe down the rail or something like that. But
Well, it's a lot of young men doing that kind of stupid shit. It's like the Disney stuff all over again, taking their seatbelts off, trying to
forgot about
climb
that.
up into like a lot of deaths were the stupid senior nights or whatever that they would have.
Yeah, yeah,
Or I don't know, they get in, they get drunk and they're doing dumb young man shit.
yeah.
So,
Well, I've done my fair share of that. So that's why I think, if I were to ever take a cruise as a teenager, I don't know.
yeah. So, the majority of cruise ships don't have specific man overboard sensors, but they are becoming more common. 30 cruise ships owned by Carnival and Disney have been fitted with VMOB sensors used to automatically alert the bridge of a man overboard incident. But so ships will stop if you go overboard and it can take up to a mile to stop. And also like people disappear so quick.
Yeah.
So quick, and it takes them a long time to stop. They will turn around to come look for you, but like most people are not found again once you go over.
So did you look at how these sensors work? Because I'm kind of curious how,
Mm-mm.
like, if it's just some sort of motion thing
It
or
probably is. I think it probably is some kind of motion thing. I
yeah,
mean, they have cameras and
but that's
sensors all over the place.
still, you think about it, it's not just I don't know, I would be curious as to what the emergency management services were like on a cruise ship because that didn't surprise me at all that you said it could take up to a mile for it to stop and turn around and come back, and, like, that's valuable time when you are in a life and
Mhm.
death situation like that. Like, it's not like people are just springing off the boat, and how I mean, I'm sure this will come up, but, like, how do people even know if there's not a sensor? How do they even know that you've gone overboard? I mean, it's a terrifying prospect.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Um, Strong swimmers disappear. There's like recently when looking into all this, people were like, yeah, there was just some strong, like some guy trying to swim the English Channel, which is supposed to
Yes.
be pretty
Yeah.
safe. His little ship was there not far away and they lost him.
Yeah. Man, just stay out of the ocean.
Just stay out
Just
of
stay out of the
water.
ocean.
Just
Yeah.
nobody needs to swim.
Man,
We
yeah,
don't
and
belong there. We don't belong. Just we
ev
belong on the shore, you know.
even the shallow waters, I can remember, if Ryan's still watching, like, there was a time we were jumping around in a lake and everything, and maybe I had been drinking a little bit that day, but, like, my mind was completely gone, and he kinda reminded me, like, "You gotta watch out for rocks at the bottom of the lake." Like, if you jump in, don't don't get your foot caught in between rocks and
Oh my
not
god.
not be able to come back up, and I'm like, "Well, great, now I'm never gonna get
Thinking
in a
about
body of water again."
It was cool going to Lake Michigan though. That's it was chill. It was chill when we went. You can
What
go
were
far
you
out and you're
I
just
was
still standing like at
Yeah.
waist deep.
Oh, that is pretty surreal.
Mhm. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, well,
Anyway.
maybe I will. Maybe I'll get back in the lake at Lake Michigan.
Um, okay, so maritime law doesn't require lines to publicly release their investigations. The law allows cruise lines to downplay details that might cast them in a negative light.
Why? I wonder.
I don't know.
It's just like there's nothing you
The
can do
rules of
about
the
it,
sea.
so it's like, it's fine, like, there's nothing you coulda done, so we don't want this to affect your business."
Well, it's a and like a lot of cruise lines. So I'm gonna be pulling this out of my ass like 80%.
Sick.
But they don't like they might not call the United States their port,
Ah,
like their home port. They might be
yeah,
stationed out of like a small island. Um, so maybe the whoever does the investigation is like one guy who is like calling it in.
yeah.
I mean, and it's all to get around, you know, paying taxes or whatever the fuck. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
yep, fuck 'em.
Too bad.
Yeah. Um, where am I? Okay, due to the intrinsic nature of cruising with sailings that can run months, and a relatively high average age of passengers, crews have to be prepared for the worst, and they generally are.
Sailings that can run into months. Is that
Yeah.
month long? It's oh, no, there's no
There
way.
we have a family friend who, like, cruises are his thing. Like,
Yeah.
he's constantly on long cruises, and it's like he loves them. Um, I don't know.
I
I'm
mean, to
not
each his own. I'm pretty
well,
sure.
yeah, I mean, he's got the money for it, whatever, but, like, I can't imagine being on, like, one that long. I think he's done one that long.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I could do a train ride for months.
I don't think I could do
I don't
that.
think I could do a cruise. Like, I don't know. Do you ever it's like that weird period between Christmas and New Year's where everybody's been,
Mm,
like, vacationing for so long that it starts to feel like it's not
weird.
normal, like
Yeah.
you're in an alternate dimension or
You've
something like
fallen out
that.
of time.
You've fallen out of time. That's a
I bet
great
it
way of
feels
putting it.
exactly like that.
That's immediately where my brain goes, is that after a week, I think I'm kinda cooked on vacation
Mhm.
in general, much
I
less
could
months at sea.
I can do 2 weeks, no
Yeah.
problem. Well, we did 2 weeks in Scotland, and that was super easy. I didn't even wanna come back. Um,
Man, what if you didn't?
but that was Scotland, so, you know.
Yeah, touche, touche.
Um,
So what is it that happens when someone dies on a cruise ship, Rooster?
okay, I'm glad you asked, Tony. Um, All cruise ships have morgues, which are generally refrigerated stainless steel rooms, the largest of which can hold up to 10 bodies in cool conditions until the ship reaches the next port, though sometimes they can be kept on board for up to a week.
So are they like stopping the cruise when somebody dies, or are they
No.
just gonna throw their body
Mhm.
in the morgue and keep on trucking? Because like I don't know, maybe this
I
is just me, but if I was like sitting at the bar trying to have a pina colada, knowing there's some dead bodies down in the morgue, like we lost somebody.
I
I
think
don't know. I don't know the
they
protocol.
try and keep it quiet so the rest of the passengers aren't
They're not like, hey, there's a dead guy.
right. Um, but, like, I think I saw something that said they would do, like, a small ceremony in the morning
Mm,
or something,
okay.
before most people wake up. So, yeah, it's pretty discreet when it happens.
Man,
When
this is an entire world I never even thought about existing. Blowing
Well,
my mind
I
today.
saw something kind of dark, and I don't even know how true it is, but once, like, the morgue fills up, they might use the actual freezer. So, like, there's I don't know, some stupid story where I got a burn.
All right, live podcasting. We are on the air
Um,
as we
so
speak.
I saw some dark thing that was like, they serve soft serve ice cream, like, free. So they try and, like, to get rid of I don't to make room, I don't know. It seemed like a stupid bullshit story, so I was like,
I
"I'm not
don't
even gonna put that in here," but now
I
I'm
don't
bringing
think I
it
like
up
where that
anyway.
story was going. I don't think I
You
like where that was going.
gotta make room in the freezer. Um, okay, so when bodies are offloaded, it is discreetly done from a small exit not used by passengers, and they are handed into the care of a local funeral company. A death certificate is issued, and arrangements are then made to fly the deceased home, which can be bureaucratic and expensive.
Man, so yeah, who has to pay for I'm assuming it's the family of the deceased that would have to pay for all of this.
Yeah. I did see
It's just
something where, like, you
cost.
can
They leave them in the ocean.
that you can, cremate them, and that's easier. Like, I saw
Uh,
one family chose to cremate it, and they finished their cruise.
what they do, just put them in the same oven that they're cooking your pizzas in?
And they don't cremate them on the ship.
The like,
Could you imagine if you just start
the
smelling
kitchen
dead
staff,
body?
they're like,
Oh
"Well,
my god, this is terrible.
hand it over to the bartender."
You know, the pizza chef.
The pizza shop. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Um, in years past, it was possible for passengers who had died during a voyage to be buried at sea, which is dope.
Yeah.
Saving on expense and hassle, but this was rare and could only take place if the ship's doctor had no doubts over the cause of death.
Mm.
I don't know if that can still happen now, but
We should call and ask. I'm sure they would love to talk to us about it.
yeah, I'm sure they're very free with their information.
Yeah, this podcast might get taken down for all we know. Big carnival.
If it hasn't yet, I think we're okay. I mean,
Yeah,
we've
we're 23 minutes in, and 15 of that was talking about us sitting in the woods getting bit by bugs.
okay. Some causes of deaths, medical issues.
So wait, hold on.
Okay.
Are these like the most common that you
Yeah.
read in your research, or was this from
Yeah.
like a list somewhere?
Both.
Okay, gotcha.
Medical issues, falling due to climbing on balconies or railings. They will actually ban you for life if you do stupid shit like jump off the side. Drowning in the pool.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And this is not counting people who die when they're on land at like a stop.
Okay, yeah,
So this is just on the
just
ship.
on the ship. Yeah, which I mean, like, yeah, if there's a pool there, there's gonna be drowning, just like it's no different
Anywhere
from a
else.
pool being on
Yeah.
land. Yeah,
Yeah. Suicides and then murder by spouse.
that's wild.
Yeah.
It's like an Agatha Christie novel.
I know. This made me keep thinking about like some murder mystery I read last year. I don't even cabin number 10 or some shit. I don't know. It was not very
Okay,
good, so I don't know why I brought it up.
all right. So,
um,
but how do they? I'm curious if you know of, or if you have some in the show agenda. Stop me, but I'm curious of like, it kind of seems pretty easy to stage this. So how are they knowing for sure that it's murder in some of these cases?
Well, yeah, it is really hard. Like, it seems
Because
like
could you not just like throw your wife over the
right.
ship and then
It's
who
kind of like
knows?
an ideal situation if you're trying to get rid of somebody.
Mm,
Because like if there's no cameras at that spot, you just toss them over, and then it's like, oh, they probably just fell in. So many people fall in.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if you can see the comments, but Kelly dropped something in the comments that I'm not going to bring up on the show because it's
Okay.
super fucking depressing.
Okay. You
You
should save
can't
it
see
for me
him.
later. No.
I got to figure that
Oh
out.
no, I can see him. I can see him. I can see him.
Yeah,
Oh
go
no,
to the
I read about that, Kelly. Yep, I watched the interview too. It was super sad. But yeah, yeah.
because I mean, I like, are these, so would this, like, if somebody stabs their spouse, that's obviously murder.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that this would be, we're not just talking about drowning in the ocean in these statistics, are we?
Yeah.
So
What
we're
do you mean? Like murder by spouse would just be throwing him overboard.
okay. So murder by spouse is, we are just talking about throwing them overboard. We're
Yeah.
not talking about like somebody pulls out a gun and shoots their wife on a
I
ship.
think more commonly it's they push him over.
Okay.
I think there have been I didn't put any actual straight up murders on here.
Okay.
Well, except for one. There's I think I mean, it's hard to know because if somebody's stabbed and then thrown over, how do you even know?
Damn.
Because most of the time they are just tossing them over. Because why wouldn't you? You're not just
Yeah.
gonna stab somebody and then be like,
We are
I did it.
helping 47 people today figure out how to murder someone and get away with
Good.
it. That's what we're doing. My
Well,
goodness.
you're welcome.
All right, let's get into the first case that you've brought to the show today.
Okay, so I like this one because this is the one that first got me really into the idea of cruise ship deaths. I think I saw it on some true crime show, which made
Okay.
it out to be so scandalous, of course. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about this one.
Let's get into it.
Rebecca Corium. Rebecca Corium was a 24-year-old woman from Chester in Cheshire, England. She was working on the Disney Wonder cruise ship when she vanished on March 22nd, 2011. Rebecca sent her parents a message on the 21st via Facebook and said that she would call her mother the next day. However, the call never came. On the morning of the 22nd, Rebecca did not arrive for her shift and she was nowhere to be found on the ship. CCTV footage caught Rebecca at 5:45 a.m. However, for an unknown reason, according to some reports, a crew member claimed that Rebecca went overboard at 3 a.m. That's interesting.
So where's the where's the discrepancy coming from there?
I don't know. Well, this overview is taken from just a Reddit post. So
Okay.
because I mean, well, it was this one stayed more to just some facts than like people get super scandalous with this one for a reason.
Oh,
So
okay. That's
the
a
footage
tease.
the footage captured Rebecca using one of the ship's phones. She appeared to be distraught and distressed. A man came up to her and asked if she was all right. She replied that she was fine and put the phone down. She's never seen again. So after Rebecca's parents arrived on the Disney Wonder for answers, a few theories came to light. A suggestion was made that Rebecca had been washed overboard by a stray wave. Yeah, like a big rogue wave.
Yeah, sure.
Which we kind of talked about in like the lakes episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But her parents denied this as the walls around the ship seemed too high. A lot of people believe that Rebecca simply fell overboard or climbed the walls. A popular theory is that Rebecca took her own life, and others have suggested that she was pushed overboard.
Yeah, I mean, this is
See,
like
this is
exactly what we were talking
yeah.
about.
I mean, because it's one
How
of
would
those
you know?
things where it's like if you don't see it happen, did they commit suicide? Was it an accident? Did somebody push her overboard? Like, you can't know unless somebody saw it.
Yeah.
So Rebecca's father, Mike, received an email from a woman claiming to have seen Rebecca in Venice with a man who had dark hair. She said she was 85% sure it was Rebecca. A lot
Well,
of people also think that sex trafficking is a big thing. Like,
oh, yeah. My brain didn't even go there, but sure.
but I mean, they couldn't. Did they just keep her stashed away somewhere until they? I that for this story is very unlikely.
Yeah.
So it was later revealed that there was a possibility that Rebecca was in a love triangle with an older man and woman on the ship. Um, so the show that I watched went into this aspect deeper. So Rebecca was gay. So
Okay.
she was in the relationship with the woman, but it was the woman's, like, the girlfriend's ex boyfriend or something.
Okay.
So the woman was sleeping with Rebecca and this guy. And I think it was implied that Rebecca was um, like kind of pressured into having a threesome.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe Rebecca had the threesome to like make her girlfriend happy. And then she got really upset about it afterwards.
And she's
Or maybe the guy was like really jealous and abusive. I don't know. Like, there was a lot from the show that came out about this love triangle, which wasn't really a triangle. I mean, I guess it
so
was, but
and the theories coming out of this would be she's distraught about the situation, goes for a walk late at night, and she's either like taken by a wave, not paying attention, or if she's in a bad enough spot about it, just
right,
decides to jump ship.
right. That maybe she was upset enough to, you know, jump overboard.
Man, that's a bummer.
Um, so the investigation was heavily criticized, leading to her family settling a lawsuit against Disney in 2016. Um, I think this is the one where, yeah, I mean, they just have weak investigations. You know,
Yeah.
you get these cruise lines trying to cover their own ass, also not really knowing. Like, sometimes you just can't. What can you do
But
if
I'm
not if it's not
surprised
seen?
that stuff like this happens frequently enough, going back to the numbers you gave us at the beginning of the show, that this kind of thing happens frequently enough and it's not more heavily regulated.
Yeah, I think that's probably why it's becoming more common that ships have overboard sensors.
Yeah.
Um, and there are cameras everywhere. So, um, I think it's probably harder to get away with, and maybe those numbers are quite high.
Yeah.
So, there is a really good John Ronson article, which everybody always goes back to for this case, because he went on to be a passenger and just act like a regular passenger, but was like asking everybody questions.
Mm.
So a little investigative reporting. It is really good. Um, so she apparently disappeared from deck 5, which is where the crew swimming pool is. So only the crew has access to this pool. It's like at the very like Titanic part of the ship. It's like at the very front. And so if you can go and look at pictures, there's a ladder up to like the bow of the ship, and you could just easily climb up and go overboard.
No shit.
So it would be possible for her to just climb up and off. Like,
So that opens that door then.
yeah, but aside from that, the walls are like at head level. And if the waters are rough, the crew's not even supposed to be out there. So,
But theoretically, like if you're walking around in the middle of the night, you wouldn't know that. I don't know. Just spitballing.
there's a quote from a friend she had on the ship. I don't know how I'm doing that. I just don't know who the friend is. He doesn't like actually say who this person is.
Okay.
But an alleged friend says she loved Deck 5. It's where we always used to go. I bet she climbed onto the wall and sat on the ledge in a I need to feel like I'm off the ship for a second way.
Ah,
So he said, but why would they suppress that? And she replied, to try to protect the brand. If it was 6 a.m. and they were doing their job and watching the front, someone must have seen her go over. Or if they didn't, they're covering up why they didn't. Because it is like Deck 5 is right underneath like the big glass, like windowed control room.
yeah.
So if people
Okay.
are in that room, they would see her.
So
So if nobody saw her, that means just like negligence. So they would be trying to cover up the fact that no one saw her.
and then you are kind of, I would assume, exposed to some massive legal risk
Mm-hmm.
in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that seems to be the prevailing theory, as it was maybe rough waters that night when people wouldn't have been allowed to be at the crew pool. And if she did go over, she should have been seen. So it would show negligence on their part, because the crew pool is literally, at the boat, right in the control room. Her MP, which is member of parliament, I had to look that up. I was like, I'm not English. I don't know what this shit means. Stephen Mosley says Disney was more interested in getting the ship back to sea than in the case of a missing crew member. And it's appalling that only one policeman from the Bahamas, an authority internationally recognized as almost toothless, was called to investigate. He said, flag of convenience countries, such as the Bahamas, as they're called in the shipping world, shouldn't be left to conduct these kinds of investigations. So that's like what I was saying earlier.
Circles back to that idea
Yeah.
that these aren't, it's not Sherlock Holmes out here.
No, I mean, if they like, countries of convenience, they're just like the port that they call home because they don't have to pay taxes. They're technically,
Yeah.
and so they have their investigation, but it's just like one guy who's calling it in, and that's the investigation.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, that's surprising. I mean, it seems sketchy as fuck.
yeah. Well, that's what makes it so scary too. Like, where's the authority?
Yeah. It just seems kind of lawless.
Like, that's what people like about cruises, though, is that you go out into the water, international waters, and you're partying. But that's also what makes it so fucking scary.
Yeah. I don't know. We do this on every show, but I feel like there's some good fiction ideas in here that were
Well, like a murder mystery.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if you're stuck on a ship with somebody that was like stalking you?
No.
That's immediately where I go. Like, what if your fucking stalker got on with you and you're just like, great, now I'm stuck here? Because where's the authority? What are you going to do? You stop at like some touristy port town, and what are they going to do?
Yeah, I
You
don't
can't
know.
even get shit against stalkers in the United States, like when you have lots and lots of proof.
Yeah. It'd be barricading myself in my room.
Yeah. I like that stalker one though. I might do something with that.
You like that what?
I like that stalker idea though. I might do something with that.
Yeah, there we go. Let's
So,
get that on the books.
yeah, it's not like I've written about a fucked up relationship before.
That's right.
Okay. So this next one, I don't know why I put it on there. I think because it's interesting and you don't know. This one is really more of a mystery. Amy Lynn Bradley. So, an American woman who went missing during a Caribbean cruise on the Royal Caribbean International cruise ship Rhapsody of the Seas in late March 1998 while en route to Curacao. Her whereabouts remain unknown to this day. She was 23-year-old Longwood University graduate at the time of her disappearance.
So this is just a disappearance,
Mhm.
and we just don't know where she's at even to this day.
Don't know if she's dead or alive to this day.
Wow.
So after midnight on Monday, March 23rd, 1998, Amy and her younger brother Brad headed to the ship's nightclub to go dancing. Records show that Brad decided to return to his cabin earlier than Amy. The ship's door lock records show that Brad had entered his cabin at around 3:35 a.m. and Amy soon followed 5 minutes later. The two chatted before heading to bed. Amy's father, Ron, woke up around 6 a.m. to check on his daughter, only to find her missing from the balcony she had slept on earlier. I don't know why she's sleeping on the balcony. She was probably just drunk as hell.
Yeah, I mean, been there before.
Yeah. He said something about like when she was gone, her cigarettes were also gone. So she's just out there with her cigarettes, drunk as hell. Like, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
So Amy's family immediately reported the missing case to the onboard crew, where they continued to plead with the crew members to keep the 2,000 passengers from disembarking the cruise and to make an announcement to assist in finding Amy. That seems like basic fucking procedure.
I was about to say that's like standard issue protocol right there.
However, the team at the purser's office informed them that it was too early to make a ship-wide announcement. They're like, no, we don't want to wake up people. So the crew agreed to issue an announcement at 7:50 a.m. after a majority of the passengers had left the ship. So they let people leave, and there was no announcement until most people were off the ship.
That is incredibly stupid.
I would be so fucking pissed off.
I would be pissed off too. I mean, can you call lawyers off of that?
Right. Throughout the night, Amy's family was approached by the same waiter asking to pass on a note to Amy for him, involving an invitation for her to go drinking with him once they reached the shore. Which, what a fucking dickless way to do that. Like, the waiter just is like, goes up to her dad, like, can you give your daughter this note to come drinking with me? Like, what is that?
I don't know. Did he think that that was like clever or cute or something? That's not.
Why is he trying to pass? No. So
weird. It's weirdo behavior. Is what that is.
Dickless weirdo behavior.
Yes. Yes.
So in addition, the professional photographer, okay, this is fucking weird. The professional photographer had printed out all photos taken throughout the cruise to sell at a stall, but the family could not find any of Amy's photos, making them believe that the photos had been removed by somebody. So there's not a single photo of Amy.
Ooh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. That is really gross. I really hate that one. But that's a great one to keep for a story.
Yeah,
like, that seems like a fucking murder mystery right there. That little detail is like, excuse me?
The record scratch right there.
When authorities were alerted that Amy was missing, the Netherlands...
Go for it.
The Netherlands and... I don't like it. The Netherlands Coast Guard conducted a 4-day search in the surrounding waters and along the cruise lines to no result. Authorities began to speculate that she may have fallen overboard and drowned, but investigators have rejected this theory as Amy was known to be a strong swimmer, which doesn't matter.
Well, if she's drunk too.
Mm-hmm. And searches turned up no sign of her. There have been possible sightings of Bradley in Curacao. In August 1998, tourists saw a woman resembling Bradley on a beach, and in 1999, a member of the U.S. Navy claimed a woman in a brothel said she was Bradley and asked him for help. He did not report this immediately because he didn't want to be in trouble for being at a fucking brothel.
Oh, man.
There's so many fucking shit-ass dudes in this story.
That's what a shitty thing to do to somebody.
Yep. Like, somebody is just begging you for help. And you're like, well, I can't get in trouble. As if you wouldn't even get in trouble. You're at a brothel. Who cares? You're not getting in trouble.
That's 99. What were opinions on brothels in 1999?
Oh, God. With the U.S. military, their opinions on shit doesn't matter. They're in there raping people, and he's at a brothel. Like, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're not fucking raping somebody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in trouble. I feel like our podcast is gonna get shut down by somebody. So yeah, the strongest theory is that she was kidnapped by human traffickers. A lot of credible witnesses. There were like apparently 2 girls that did see her get in the elevator.
Yeah.
At like really early in the morning. So that would kind of, show that she didn't just fall overboard.
Man.
A lot of credible witnesses. There's still an FBI reward for any information, but people on Reddit seem to think she just fell over. Yeah. Because people on Reddit just, I don't know. See, it's one of those things where it's like, it probably is a lot easier than you think to just fall over and never be seen again. And then all these theories come up. But this one is so weird. Like the pictures.
That's the unsettling piece of this whole thing.
And like there were multiple witnesses. There was like a taxi driver who like, because she's speaking English. She's just trying to ask anybody for help. There's like a taxi driver. There was a random woman who said she was approached in a bathroom somewhere, but then two guys came in like threatening her. Like really, there's a lot of witnesses that make this seem skeezy as fuck. But people are like, oh, she was 23. Traffickers wouldn't want her. Like as if 23. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody wants to fuck a 23-year-old.
It's incompetence.
So yeah, that one makes me kind of mad. But all because they just let people get off the ship too. Like it maybe could have been stopped. But see, that one's scary. That one's so scary. One's so scary.
Yeah, I mean, what if like the crew from the ship was in on it? There's your fiction idea.
Maybe like a couple. What if it was like the photographer and the waiter?
Yeah, everybody's in on it.
Well, maybe not everybody. That's a lot of people after just like.
Well, I don't mean everybody on the ship. I mean everybody, all the figures in this story are in on it.
Also, she was apparently partying with like the drummer from the band that was playing in the.
That's kind of scarier implications with that.
I don't like it.
We are going to get the show pulled, or we're going to be.
I know. I'm trying to be pretty. I'm trying, and I'm still failing. But whatever. I mean, if Disney didn't pull us for the Disney Deaths, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few years, so I think we're okay. But
that's true. You never know. You
never know.
They could still get us. Okay, so this last one I thought would be scary for guys because it's a guy, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A little change of pace.
There we go. Equality. I like it.
Yeah. George Allen Smith IV. Smith was on his honeymoon, a 2-week trip on a Mediterranean cruise, when he mysteriously disappeared in the early morning hours of July 5th, 2005. Evidence suggested that foul play might have been involved. Blood stains were found in his cabin as well as on the side of the ship, and it appeared that he might have been tossed off the ship or fallen overboard and drowned.
Whoa.
The police suspected homicide.
This is a case where they're going to be like, yeah, no, this is murder.
Yeah, there's blood. We got blood here. Investigation of the disappearance continued into 2012. The New York Post reported that the matter had been referred to the Mafia division of the FBI.
Whoa.
The television program Dateline shed new light on the theory that the death was most likely a robbery gone bad. It did mention like 2 Russians, so like not mafia, Italian mafia, but like maybe some Russian gangster.
Yeah. Well, now I don't want to go on a cruise because the mob's on there too.
Were they just having a chill vacation?
Who knows?
Or they just try and rob people? They just send a couple guys out there to rob like easy tourists.
I mean, I figure that would be a pretty easy job to pull off.
Could you imagine? You're on your honeymoon, on your cruise, and then somebody's robbing you, and then you're getting murdered.
Yeah. We're just completely damning the entire cruise industry on this episode.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, I don't ever plan on going on a cruise.
Me neither. Unless it's like one to Alaska, that would be cool.
I could do like the river cruise. I think that would be pretty cool. But that's
River
like,
cruises or going up to Alaska.
yeah, I
But
don't even
yeah,
know. I don't even know about that.
but people get sick all the time from like food poisoning and
Yeah, they just don't seem that appealing to me.
no.
And that's before you factor in the falling overboard and murder and general lawlessness of it all.
Well, the lawlessness is what's supposed to appeal to people, I think. You know,
Fair
everybody just
enough.
on the cruise and gets drunk as hell.
Yeah. Well,
I that sounds awful. I don't wanna I can't drink like that anymore, and then to be on a ship drinking like that,
I
I would be
can't
fucking
either.
puking constantly.
I would too,
I
100%.
might throw myself overboard just like, I might wanna just kill myself at that point, honestly, like,
I might have 3 gin and tonics and be like, "Oh, this headache is too much. Going
just end it
overboard." Yeah.
now. No, I meant, like, the next day when I'm puking up my guts and I'm like, "It's time for me to end this."
Yeah. I don't know. I still like to go back to our conversation at the beginning of the show. I still don't think I'd want to be just floating in the ocean knowing that's how I'm dying. Like I think I would probably go into some sort of cardiac arrest, which I think may technically be what kills you when you drown, but I mean like I would have a heart attack while I'm still alive.
I think it would be kind of cool. I think it would make you feel really small, and it would be really weird and,
Yeah,
like, scary in a really, like, big, profound way. Like, I think that would be a pretty cool experience before dying.
it would be like dying in space almost.
Yeah.
It's
I
like a
mean,
completely foreign world.
if you were floating for long enough to, like, not see the cruise ship anymore, that would actually be really cool.
But then what if something
I'm
swims by and
this is how I'm going out. When I get old enough, I'm booking a cruise and I'm doing this.
yeah.
This has made me want this has helped the cruise industry, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
You know, no assisted suicide, no problem. Book a
Take a
cruise.
cruise. Push your wheelchair right off the edge.
Okay. Oh, that's it.
I still like the submerged the collapsing submarine.
That's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't wanna if I could go down by myself and just, like, push a button that would collapse it. No, because then I know it's coming. I just don't wanna be in a tiny space with a bunch of asshole millionaires. Like, that just
Yeah.
seems like the worst company.
Yeah.
That seems like the
It's
worst part about that.
like what is it? Like the fighter pilots that are like being up in the air and getting your plane exploded is actually a pretty good way to go because it's instantaneous.
That sounds cool. That would be a cool way to go.
Yeah, but then you'd have to learn how to fly a plane.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Are you
that.
just gonna take it up and just hope for it? Hope somebody shoots you down?
My eyesight's too bad. I can't do it.
Yeah. No, I
Gotta
don't.
go to war with the Germans or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Cruises creep me out. I'm out on cruises.
Yeah. Great fiction territory, though.
Yeah, I think you could have some fun with this. I want you to have this prompt. I don't think I want to take it.
I
I think
love stalker stories. I'm 100% on for doing that.
Here we go.
Like,
Something to look forward to.
did you ever see Red Eye?
I loved Red Eye.
I fucking love that movie. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna do something like that, but cruise ships. You know what? I'm not even gonna write it. That's the story. There you go.
go
Red
watch
Eye,
Red
but on
Eye
a cruise ship.
and imagine it's on a cruise ship the whole time.
Yeah.
So
I
that's it.
did. Well, I have a Reddit comment that I took a screenshot of because I think this would be me if I went on a cruise. I think, okay. This person said, I wonder how many people who just answered the call of the void and it wouldn't have happened if they didn't get on a cruise. And then somebody responded that they went for a walk in the middle of the night. I spent about half an hour standing at a railing listening to that before deciding to live. Spent the rest of the cruise thinking about it and never let myself be alone for the rest of the cruise. It was a strange feeling wanting to just jump overboard without a reason. I feel like that would be me. I would go out in the middle of the night and I'd be like, let's go.
Man, I say that, but I do catch myself like at the top of
Mhm.
a high building, like, oh man, it'd just be so easy. It would be so easy to do this.
Well, like at night when everybody's asleep and it's really quiet and it's
Yeah.
just so dark, I feel like that would call to me for sure.
So we can't let
I don't
Mom
even consider myself a depressed person. And I'm like, that
pretty
sounds
peaceful.
pretty, yeah,
Pretty
that
peaceful.
sounds pretty nice.
All right. Well, we'll end it on that note then.
Yeah.
Cruise ship deaths. If we make it to another couple of weeks, do you have anything in mind for the next show? If big cruise ship doesn't take us down,
Oh, yeah, maybe those Japanese guys on the island who didn't know that World War II was over.
that's a cool one. That's a
Yeah.
cool idea to get into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Do you, Rooster? Do you have any parting shots before we get on out of here?
No.
No, that's it.
Maybe don't listen to the call of the void.
Don't
I
listen to the call of the void.
I mean, I say that, but I probably would. So can I really say that?
Don't listen to the call of the void if you have something to live for. Is that better?
I have nothing to live for.
Oh, yeah. All right, great.
Good times. Good times.
Great.
Memo's Mexican Kitchen.
Oh my god. Oh, all right. Well, yeah, we're gonna get on out of here then.
Yep.
SoBrosNetwork.com, SoBroShop.com. Rooster, where can our viewers or listeners find you on social media?
At Rooster_Chase on Twitter.
There you go. All right. Well, I'm at Stony Keeley on X and TikTok, and at Sobros Network on every other major social media platform. Really just got to get on out of here at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
She's the cryptic queen, Rooster. I'm Big Natural Stony Keeley, and until next time, you stay classy, phoners.
Bye.